So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here again in this little bit of experiment that we try to do and put it up on the internet for our digital archives or digital fossils to remain. Maybe 50 years later on, we will come back and this will be exposed as some kind of gotcha for us. But we try to do it for better or for worse, and Anup is keeping company with me. Hi, Anup.
Hello everyone. Hello Shiraz.
So, like we discussed, right? We're not going to uh, read any more books for this year, but rather we're going to write something. So, this is what we tried to do last week. Was a bit of a different attempt from our side. This week, we're going to give it one more go. Anup's story is called The Thrash, and for me, I have not decided it yet. To be honest, the first chapter I have named it as a silent beginning, but it's very likely that it might change. So, Anup, how was your progress? Did you make any changes to the story? Did you add on to it? How did it
Mm.
happen?
Yes, I definitely changed something, but um, I don't know which part exactly. But yeah, some sentences are different now, and some setups are also different. And I also wrote it further, um, in comparison to last week. Yeah, those are the changes. How is it with you?
I have kind of reworked almost everything, and to be honest,
Mhm.
I'm rethinking all of my approach. So it's been really
Uh,
difficult. uh, after yeah, with working on this for some time, I'm just not happy with any part of it. But I have to keep continue because yeah, that's what we plan to do for this year. But yeah, I would like to read from the start and then
uh,
discuss a bit because I have changed a lot of things. Uh,
uh,
and yeah, if you have not changed much, then I would very strongly recommend that you continue from your new beginning, from the new part. But because the
uh,
whole start is kind of different for me now,
uh.
I've created
Yeah,
it.
sure.
I think even until next week, we would be discussing still about the first chapter in my case because I
Uh,
have been yeah just playing around. But I think once I settle on a format, then we can smoothly move along.
uh,
Uh, yeah. So would you like to start?
sure, I can start. So let's recap a bit. It was about the Thrash prison, right? There were two prisoners like talking with each other, and so initially the Thrash was kind of explained how our two characters, like one was called M, and another is called UC,
Mm,
how they actually got inside the Thrash, or um, the initial days of M, right?
mm,
And I will go through the last two three sentences from the last chapter again, and then like I'll then start reading like what I wrote this week. Okay. Anyways, sometimes you need to take difficult decision in life. He used to tell himself. He didn't ask UC about his previous life, and UC likewise did not ask about his previous life. They say people in Thrash understand each other without exchanging words. What do you expect of a big day? Asked M suddenly. After a long silence, UC answered, I want to be forgiven for my past sins. Those sins must be grave sins if you see no other way out of it but the green room. To tell you the truth, I don't even remember it anymore. All I know is that I did something for which that damned room is the only answer. M knew that UC was lying. One may forget their name, but one always remembers the worst sin one has committed in their life. People come to the trash due to multiple reasons. Some people are forcefully thrown in the trash. Some people come here to pay their debt off. And some people come here because they can't handle their lives. I hope you're right. I haven't heard of a single person who goes to the green room voluntarily. You haven't heard about a lot of things that go around here, newbie. Stop calling me that, asshole. Why exactly is it called the green room? M asked. A rather sharp and annoying voice came. What are you ladies talking about? It was BP. He was older than M, but slightly younger than UC. BP had a very bad reputation around here. He would actively take part in dragging the newcomers and sometimes even go further. He had black hair, brown eyes, and a scar on his forehead, which looked like it was slashed, and multiple vertical scars throughout his body. There were some rumor that he also killed some of the other Filths. He was the first one who beat up M in his first days in the trash. Sticking your nose again where it doesn't belong, eh? You fucking twat, called M. Um, Growing a big pair of balls, I see. I would rather keep that hole shut, or else one day, who knows, someone might find a tongue knot somewhere, said BP. You see glanced BP, and soon the complete tone of BP changed. Anyways, I was here to tell you what happened to our dear PF. As you all know, that F got to the get through the red door. PF. Everybody hated PF, even more than BP. PF was a notorious man and would always smile. He alone would have changed the meaning of being humane, as not a single person in the whole world could imagine what atrocities a human was capable of. He would not take part in the ragging, which was rather strange. But ever since he came to the trash, the number of homicides climbed up exponentially. It was a shock to everyone as he was deemed recyclable. Rumor spread he inherited a huge sum of his late mother. You came here to cry your feelings out that your boyfriend left? Asked UC. Don't push your luck, pal, was BP's parting word, and he went back to his cells. So the rules do not apply for the wealthy ones, exclaimed M. It never does, told UC. The guards rang the bell, which was the signal for all the inmates to go to their cells again. It was lunchtime. In the tray, M found some rice, lentils, and boiled chicken as usual. It was also salty as always. The guards went to each cell one by one. The guards never talked to the inmates. If an inmate would cause a scene, he would be forcefully taken to the green room, and that would be it. He was gone and would never come back again. That's it, man.
Wow, wow, wow! Bravo, bravo! That was really fun. That was really fun. I liked it. I especially like the dialogues, how you have kind of made it to how like prison lingo and so on.
Mhm.
Really nice. I'm teary-eyed just listening to it. It was so good.
I was thinking like whether I should put some harsh words, but come on, I thought like, oh, that's
Oh,
maybe like.
I think it's perfect. Uh, it's really good. I could really put myself there, picture them, the green room, the red door, and so on. The characters sitting there on the bedside, and probably a double-decker bed. I was picturing, and yeah,
Mhm.
it was nice. I'm not going to lie to you. I know it's nice that we do this every week, but I would definitely read the book once it's out. Because yeah, there's a bit of a discontinuity because I didn't hear it. I mean, I don't remember it between the 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
So there's a bit of continuity, but this already it's a very strong start. I have to say that really good,
Thank you.
well done. I can't even imagine how it's going to go because so far it's so early, but I think there's going to be some kind of politics, prison politics brewing there. Okay, perfect. That's a tall task to leap over. I would try. I would try my uh, poor uh, uh, poor man's science fiction novel.
Mhm.
So yeah, other than the first paragraph, I had changed almost every bit of it. Would you like me to read the first paragraph as well, or should I
Yes,
continue?
sure, sure, sure.
Okay.
The whole thing.
So the title is still undecided. It's a silent beginning. It's likely to change as well. So here I go. As I feel myself drifting in the sky, there is a sense of anticipation and fear. I had never ridden a metallic bird before, and the gusts of wind that hit my body every time it flipped its wings sent chills down my spine. I grabbed hold to its metallic feathers, trying my best not to fall off it. Even though there is plenty of space around me, I'm still fearful of the turbulence sweeping me up and throwing me to the ground. The metallic bird we are riding is like a large eagle, but made up of lustrous metallic foam. The skin is cold, and upon every flap of the wind I can hear a mechanical sound from its wing. In this strange world, life is made up of all the elements and not simply organic molecules. This is why the world is filled with animals of gigantic proportions. At least that is what my companion Dilipit says. He is a humanoid of my own size, made up of carbon-based molecules like myself. His proportions are, however, ill-formed. He is built with a big bloated upper body, while his legs are timber-like. There is almost nothing like a hip connecting his feet to a torso, and his head is overgrown. His arms are also large in comparison to his torso. I wonder how his skeleton must be to support such an abnormal shape. Even though the chemicals are different, in my experience so far the physics works similar to that in the Earth that I know. What if I fall down? Thoughts run through my head. In the turbulent flight I can barely see down from my position. The sky is eerie maroon in color with dirty green clouds. There are three suns that I can see, and the world casts a funny shadow. My atomic clock says it has been 15 hours since my landing, and other than the change in the hue of the sky, the stars haven't really dimmed yet. However, in the crash landing, I cannot say for sure if all of my equipments are working well. Delpit, who is flying beside me, holds onto my arm. Considering how he is a resident of this planet, he would not be scared of flying. However, he looks visibly afraid. Then I remember how I was scared of riding the elephant all those years ago. Despite submitting my life to this complete stranger, I know little about him. We needed some hours to establish a means to communicate with one another. The training I had received before my departure from Earth on how to communicate with a completely new being came in handy. However, this didn't really prepare me to the complexity of speaking in very simple signals. At least based on my extensive effort, I was able to learn some key facts about this strange planet. First, the atmosphere here is made primarily of oxygen and nitrogen, and I do not need specialized masks to breathe here. The initial estimate from Earth were correct. Second, the flora and fauna of this place are different. They are much larger than the ones at Earth. I was told that the prevalent theory was the plants here will be similar to that of during the Jurassic times with large gigantic ferns. However, they would be composed of completely different materials. So that's all I have written, kind of incomplete.
Oh, it's awesome. No, 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 it was awesome.
So I'm trying to do a bit of a world building here. I'm still
Mm,
picturing how
mm,
the
mm,
world is going to look like. I'm thinking
mm,
something more like a crossover between Jurassic Park and the blue Avatar, the one with the
mm,
aliens, and a
mm,
bit of
mm.
yeah, metallic uh,
Uh,
hues and
uh,
so
uh,
on. A bit of One Piece, to be honest.
uh,
I was picturing this character Dilipid to be like Queen from One Piece.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
yeah, I'm trying to create more lore behind this.
mm,
I'm
mm,
actually doing some research on life in outer planet to write for this.
mm, mm.
So it's a
Oh,
bit
nice.
it's quite fun.
Uh,
Uh,
uh.
yeah,
I, I last time saw this one video about exoplanets,
yeah,
right? Like, or planets which are similar to Earth,
yeah.
right? And I was also wondering, so like, you said like nitrogen and oxygen, like in our case, right? But I sometimes imagine like, let's say, the let's say the consistency is like just slightly different, right? Like
Mm,
a little bit more nitrogen than oxygen.
mm,
How would then that planet develop, you know?
yeah.
And so yeah, I think this story will actually kind of answer that question, right?
I think it has already been answered, to be honest. Based on
Mm,
my
mm,
research so far, the atmosphere of Earth has undergone multiple changes throughout these
mm,
millennia we have lived through,
mm,
and back in the day, there used to be more carbon dioxide, more nitrogen,
mm,
less oxygen, and during those times we had those gigantic ferns and stuff like that.
mm,
I have to
mm.
double check this. Please don't quote me on that, but I know that
For sure.
because of the atmosphere composition, changes in the
Mm,
atmosphere composition, we had large ferns, large
mm,
plants, and so on. And as the composition of atmosphere changed, the
mm, mm.
types of plant that grow in the earth as well kind of changed. So there's kind of precedence to it.
Okay, okay, okay.
There's one thing that I kind of changed is what I forgot in my first part was, so this guy has gone to a completely new world and he's starting
Mm,
to communicate with the beings there. And I was just thinking, let's say I was sent to somewhere like North America for the first time and I see
mm,
a
mm,
tiger. I'm I,
mm,
I might go and try and speak with it, but it's not necessarily going to reply to me, right? Then this is
mm,
exactly
mm,
going to
mm.
be like how I will be when
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
dropped in the other world
Mm,
as well. So there was kind of an idea, so I'm trying to flesh out it a bit more,
mm,
and
mm,
let's see how it goes. But it's quite uh, thought provoking. So I'm just doing some research and kind of finding a groove, a way of how
mm,
to uh, pass the word, like how to build the word,
mm,
and then
mm.
let the things to start happening.
Ah, well,
So yeah,
sounds nice.
to
Do you already have in mind like how the story goes on, or like have you already thought about the later
uh,
plots?
I have thought more about world, not necessarily
Mm.
about the plot. So
Okay.
I'm thinking of probably writing it as like a world building kind of thing where the characters just act based on their environment.
Mm,
I have thought about why these main character left Earth, right?
mm,
And yeah, one of the thing is when you leave Earth, then you don't just randomly fly off into the space. You plan, do some research, some
mm, mm,
homework about the planet, send a satellite first, and so on. And I would probably embed all of that in the story. I thought of the
mm,
reason why they left, and I I have thought of the reason what will be the consequences, right?
mm, mm,
Uh,
mm,
but I have not necessarily thought about what the main conflict of the story would be. It's highly likely that there would not be any conflict at all, but it won't make for an engaging read if we didn't have any conflict. So I'm thinking about some kind of conflict that will be there, probably between the people that live there already, or probably
mm.
between a different group of space travelers. Because you
Uh,
would imagine if Earth is sending people to a new planet, let's say
mm,
for colonization purposes, then they would not send only one guy, right? There would be five, 10 different
mm.
people. So
Uh,
I'm
uh,
thinking about it. Yeah, I would do some homework, and I will try to make it more like out of space colonialization story.
mm,
Probably take inspirations from South America, North America, and so on.
mm, mm,
So let's see. Let's see. I don't know. To be honest, it's quite
mm.
likely that it won't be something like that. Let's see what the world demands of the people.
Nice.
Yeah. Uh, do you have anything you would like to add?
No, no. I am thinking about how it goes on. Actually, before I wrote this book, I thought about the ending, so
Mm,
I know the end point, but like all the middle part,
mm,
that I have to think about.
mm.
Right? So yeah, let's see how this journey goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say it's been a different experience altogether, mainly because
Uh,
I've had to I've had to rethink so many things because my drafts don't work as I want them to
mm,
be. And
mm,
yeah, it's it's not as straightforward. So apparently writing is much easier than critiquing writing is much difficult than critiquing other people's writing. But
mm.
let's see how we can do. Let's try to
Uh,
create something, and then hopefully, yeah,
mm,
we can
mm,
write
mm.
something intriguing. At least one person who would be willing to read what we wrote, right?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then, thank you very much once again, Anup. This new year, new
Thanks
ideas
for having
flowing
me.
through us. Let's hope that we can make some progress this year. And yeah, uh, that's all for it. We hope you guys keep listening to us. Share the videos if you think it's any kind of worthy. You can play it beside while you're doing cooking, kind of like keeping a third company to our discussion. And if you have any ideas or any comments, then please feel free to put it in the chat. Sorry, put it in the comment. Then thank you very much and take care.